welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a look at one of the biggest surprises in Hollywood history, the rise of Liam Neeson as an action hero. You know, when you think of action heroes, you probably picture guys like Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, or Jason Statham. Physically fit, agile actors who specialize in running, jumping, and fighting their way through hordes of bad guys. Now add to that list Liam Neeson, an actor known more for his dramatic roles than his action chops. Yep, you heard me right. I'm talking about the 60-year-old actor who took the world by storm with his portrayal of Bryan Mills in the 2008 film Taken. You see, before Taken, Neeson was best known for his work in movies like Schindler's List and Michael Collins, where he showcased his dramatic range rather than his physical prowess. But everything changed when he landed the role of a retired CIA agent in Taken. In fact, Taken was not the type of movie that critics expected would become a huge hit. But boy, oh boy, were they wrong. The movie grossed over $226 million worldwide against a production budget of just $25 million. Not only that, but the film also spawned two sequels, Taken 2 and Taken 3, cementing Neeson's status as a bona fide action star. So today, we're going to explore how this unexpected turn of events happened. We will discuss how Neeson prepared for the role, how the movie was received, and why it led to such a massive shift in his career. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. When it comes to preparing for a role, Liam Neeson is a method actor who takes his craft seriously. He undergoes rigorous training to ensure that he can deliver a convincing performance. In the case of Taken, Neeson was required to learn a lot of new skills, including hand-to-hand combat, weapons training, and surveillance techniques. But as he trained for the role, he quickly realized that he was in for a real challenge. To prepare for the role of a former CIA agent, Neeson worked with professional spies who taught him the ins and outs of the trade. He learned how to use different types of weapons, including guns, knives, and improvised weapons. He also trained in various martial arts disciplines such as judo, karate, and taekwondo. Additionally, Neeson worked with a dialect coach to master the American accent, which was important to his character, Bryan Mills. All of this preparation paid off in the end as Neeson delivered an Oscar-nominated performance that earned him widespread acclaim from both critics and audiences alike. Now, if you've watched Taken, you might remember a scene where Bryan Mills infiltrates a heavily guarded building in Paris and single-handedly takes out a group of bad guys while using nothing but his wits and his fists. It's a thrilling sequence that showcases the character's skills and Neeson's own physical prowess. However, there's a funny story behind that scene that most people aren't aware of. During the filming of the movie, the stunt coordinator was concerned that Neeson, who was in his late 50s at the time, wouldn't be able to perform the stunts required for the scene. As a result, they decided to use a body double to stand in for Neeson during the fight scenes. But there was a problem. They couldn't find a body double who was the same height as Neeson, which made it impossible to film the scene as planned. Eventually, they had to ask Neeson to try the stunt himself. And as it turned out, he was able to pull it off perfectly, much to the surprise of the stunt coordinator and the rest of the crew. This scene, along with others in the film, cemented Neeson's status as a bona fide action hero and proved that age is just a number when it comes to performing death-defying stunts. The next part of our story involves the role that critics played in shaping the public's perception of Taken. Initially, critics had mixed reviews about the film, with some praising its fast-paced action and others criticizing its predictable plot. However, despite these mixed reviews, audiences flocked to theaters to watch the movie, making it a box office success. This begs the question, why did audiences embrace the film despite what the critics had to say? One reason could be that audiences were simply looking for an action-packed movie that they could enjoy without having to think too much about its deeper meaning. Taken fit the bill perfectly, providing viewers with plenty of thrilling fight scenes and a straightforward plot that didn't require much effort to follow. Additionally, the film tapped into the zeitgeist of the early 2000s, a time when there was a growing demand for movies that featured strong male leads and fast-paced action. Taken checked all the right boxes for audiences who were looking for a movie that they could sink their teeth into. Now let's talk about how Taken shook up Hollywood and made Neeson a household name. Prior to Taken, Neeson had already established himself as a respected actor with a successful career in both film and theater. He had appeared in a wide range of roles, from dramatic period pieces like Schindler's List and Michael Collins to romantic comedies like Love Actually. However, Taken marked a departure from the types of roles he had typically played, and it pushed him to new heights of fame and recognition. The movie's success caught the attention of audiences and critics alike, who were impressed by Neeson's ability to carry an action film. Suddenly, he was being offered leading roles in other action movies like Unknown and Non-Stop. And it seemed like everyone wanted a piece of the Liam Neeson action. But let's not forget about the impact that Taken had on Neeson's personal life. Overnight, he went from being recognized as a respected character actor to being one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. He was in demand for interviews and public appearances, and his face was plastered on billboards and magazine covers everywhere you went. It was a whirlwind experience that he had never anticipated. Let us delve deeper into the cultural impact of Taken and explore why the film resonated so strongly with audiences around the world. At its core, Taken is a story about a father's love for his daughter and his relentless pursuit to bring her home after she is kidnapped. This simple yet powerful premise struck a chord with audiences who connected with the emotional depth of the film. Moreover, the film's portrayal of human trafficking and the lengths to which people will go to protect their children resonated with viewers who were shocked by the realities of these issues. The film's action sequences were also praised for their intensity and realism, which made for a thrilling viewing experience that left audiences on the edge of their seats. Additionally, the film's dialogue was sharp and witty, with one of the most iconic lines being, "I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you." This line became a pop culture sensation and cemented itself in the minds of audiences long after the film's release. Another aspect that contributed to the film's success was the chemistry between Liam Neeson and his co-star Maggie Grace, who played his daughter Kim. Their performances were praised for their authenticity and their ability to make the audience care about their characters. The film's director, Murad, also deserves credit for his ability to create a fast-paced, action-packed film that was both entertaining and thought-provoking. Overall, the film's ability to blend action, drama, and social commentary made it a compelling and memorable experience that audiences appreciated. However, amidst all the excitement surrounding the film, there were also some negative reactions. Some critics argued that the film's portrayal of violence and revenge was excessive and gratuitous, while others felt that the film's plot was predictable and lacking in originality. Despite these criticisms, the film's positive reception from audiences far outweighed any negative sentiment and cemented its status as a modern classic. In conclusion, Taken was a game-changer for Liam Neeson's career. The film's success caught both audiences and critics by surprise, but it ultimately led to multiple sequels and established Neeson as a bona fide action hero. The film's cultural impact cannot be overstated, with its themes of fatherhood, human trafficking, and the pursuit of justice resonating with viewers around the world. While there were some negative reactions to the film's violence and plot, the positive reception from audiences far outweighed any criticism and cemented its status as a modern classic. Whether you're a fan of action movies, dramas, or anything in between, Taken is definitely worth a watch. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more exciting content.